like I'm on the brink of something beautiful, or maybe terrible. I know I shouldn't ask you to be open with me when I have my secrets that I tend to keep safely under lock and key. I'm hypocritical, but at least I know we could be beautiful, or maybe terrible. Only one way to know. Only one way to know. Is this a yes or a no? Which way will it go? Only one way to know. Only one way to know.
Hey there, gang. Welcome back to the Tavern, and welcome back, as always, to ABHAILE. We are stoked to be back in front of you all, sharing stories once again. Tonight, join us and the Disinherited as we place plans into action with the hopes of infiltration and espionage. First, though, a real quick word from our sponsor. Head on over to impassablecreations.com and check out their new Dispel Magic collection of dice bags, scrunchies, pillows, and more. Don't forget to use our code YBIT24 for 10% off your order. Again, that's at impassablecreations.com. Second, head over to the gift shop to pick up some Legends of ABHAILE and Tavern merch. You can find the link for that in our description below as well. And finally, Sunday. Sunday has nothing to do with it, but hopefully you've had a chance to check out our newest installment in our Tavern Side Chat series. If not, head on over after the show tonight to check it out. Will and RJ cover some juicy topics, nerding out about Baldur's Gate 3 and the lessons that we can apply to D&D as DMs and players. With all that out of the way, though, we return to the Riven Coast, an area along Borealis' southeastern reaches. A melting pot of peoples, both under the sapphire banners of Borealis, as well as those waving their own familial flags as representatives of the Hollow Folk, free cities that exist apart from the Regency itself. Here, we slap back into Brant's Tap House, located along the Evermarch Road here in Margrave. After a long, painful day, you have successfully rescued at least some of the miners from deep beneath the surface in the silver mines beneath Margrave, and learned that the architect of those malicious plans to be none other than the good Lord Dante Valemore, the previous Margrave of Margrave, and president of the very Valemore Mining Company here in town. With much yet to do before the night's festivities, a party or ball being thrown at the Valemore estate south of town, the day is yours. Waking up in your beds above the tavern to the delightful aroma of fresh-cooked breakfast. Some of you have made your way down into the common room, while some of you catch up on the last minutes of your sleep. Likely none of you clocked Calandra making her way back to her room early in the morning after turning up missing somewhere between the mines and the tavern yesterday. So real quick, in the interim, Cal, can you step into the time machine for a second with me? And let's roll a couple dice just to see what happened with your afternoon yesterday. So if you wouldn't mind, would you give me a stealth check just to kick things off as we depart our position amongst the crowd and your friends?
Sounds good.
Happy.
Ooh.
11. Thank God you guys are all level 2. Hell yeah. So you make your way...
Paying attention.
Yeah, well, it's been a long day. You have to kind of remember we're going back in time a little bit to the moments after you guys had just surfaced from the mines. You all have been through an ordeal And, oh God, divine intervention is present.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That was my tea timer.
You are good.
I did-
But as the party trudges their way onward down the Evermarch Road towards Brant's Tap House, having left the Lord's Hall to discover that it was closed for the day, you all made your way, finding Calandra no longer with you as she doubles back, feeling this prick of anxiety in the back of her skull, maybe, as the connection and the proximity with the Blue Sky group, that close to the Valemore mines, and with that much of a working relationship, especially after everything that went down in those mines, was a little bit suspicious and merited a little bit of careful surveillance. So if you wouldn't mind, Cal, as you kind of found yourself a decent perch, to just kind of surveil the comings and goings of the Blue Sky offices here, will you make me a perception check? Ooh, 14. Man, I love these low rolls. God, it's so nice. 14's not bad at all, though.
For you. They're nice for you.
Yeah, right. Well, of course, the DM is biased.
I was about to say.
But with a 14, interestingly, not much is going on. Let me explain this. As you guys have made your way around town a fair bit, there is activity going on everywhere. Being a node along the Evermarch Road, this place is perennially busy all the time, just constantly. The stables are always at capacity. There's always people coming and going. And then the Blue Sky Group's offices, with one of the largest liveries in the entire city, is almost completely, like, business is halted for the entire time that your eyes are on this place. Now, it is getting to be closer to evening and going into evening as you sit there and kind of keep your eye on it, but strangely, not a single wagon leaves. And around, I'd say, close to midnight, you see a little bit of a commotion as a glint catches your eye from across the road, from, it looks like inside the Blue Skies liveries there. And just to remind you guys real quick, I'm going to pull us over to the map here so I can show you kind of what you're looking at here. So down here is the Blue Sky offices by the mining company. I would say with your stealth check, Cal, you were able to find a nice little spot in one of the top floors of these tenement homes that are over here. And as you're keeping an eye on the property, you catch a glint as something shiny moves in the darkness outside. Will you do me a favor, Cal, and make a dexterity save real quick?
Fireball.
Just burn a half a tank.
Yes, fireball on
He's
level 2 people.
Ooh.
Hey!
Monks, man. Fucking monks. Cal, you are sitting there perfectly still for just a quiet moment as you try and determine what it is that you just caught out of your periphery. With a 14 perception check, it was a little bit too low. But amidst the kind of quiet, eerie still of the night, It's cold, it's crisp, there's barely any breeze, and it's just enough of a silence, just enough of a void that you hear the mechanical click, 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 and then thwack of a crossbow string. And instinct takes over. And with a natural 20 on your dexterity save, Cal, you catch the crossbow bolt that was coming for your head.
Hey.
And I'd say with the natural 20 and the force of a crossbow bolt and the weight of a Calandra, this is probably a grab and okay, Watchmen, the bullet catch, right at the end. We've all seen Watchmen. We've all seen. I watched it with you, Kat. We watched Big Giant Blue Penis on the screen in Fulton.
That was a long time ago.
You don't forget things like that.
So you.
Oh, I don't forget that. But I don't remember it.
you catch the crossbow bolt, and it kind of pulls you out of the window that you're posted up in a little bit, as you kind of tumble to the ground. Again, this is all on instinct and whatnot. You take 0 damage from the attack that would have hit you, and you are able to quickly and hurriedly make your way out of the tenement home and quickly escape with that nat 20. Slinking your way back through alleyways behind homes, quietly you make your way back finally to the tap house, where you see the familiar shape of the lighthouse wagon out front. And you slink inside for a good night's sleep. And it's morning once again. So we're down in the tap house. Some of you guys are awake. Some of you guys are upstairs still, I believe. But the day is yours. I'm going to stop yapping and turn it over to y'all.
I think I would like to set up the lighthouse, open up shop, and try and earn some gold for the party. Okay. So one of these shops, I want to go grab the lighthouse, bring it out, open it up like the bar that it's supposed to be, and get it all set.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we will say that, Finn, you get out in the early morning. It's the clouds have kind of scattered, and it's a clear day, looks like, as the eastern horizon is, the western horizon is, I forgot what world we're in, streaked with clouds along the horizon as they begin to dissipate, but they're showing purples and oranges with the morning light as you are tending to your wonderful horse out there and getting the contents of your wagon ready to relocate, at least just across the street. If nothing else, it might be in bad taste to set up your bar in the front driveway of another bar. But
I was kind of thinking of that. I'm like,
yeah,
a little competition.
But across the road, I think, would be totally acceptable and fine. But yeah, it'll probably take...
Let's go down a little bit.
Okay.
You know, make it a little bit more distance in between. Don't want to be disrespectful of the place that we're staying.
I gotcha. I need to real quick. I don't...
Absolutely.
I don't do this very often, so pay attention, guys, while I do this. I am going to pull up the overlay on this map because I can't not forget where the tavern is. So give me just 1 second, guys. So you guys are right here,
Cool.
Brant's Tap House.
Yeah.
And I am going to turn that off. So yeah, you guys are set up at Brant's, and yeah, you no trouble getting the. So when you say down the road, Finn, what are you thinking? Like towards the north gate, or towards the center?
Like if it was going to be anything, I'd probably set it up right there on the corner.
Okay, cool. Right next to the stables where you bought your tackle from yesterday. I gotcha.
Actually, you know what? Let's set it up in front of the stables there.
I dig it.
That seems like a good place. People coming in. That was a good place.
Yeah.
It's like people setting up a Girl Scout cookie stand right in front of a dispensary.
Exactly.
Ah, oh my gosh. That's
Real
so
thing that
smart.
happened. Real thing that happened.
Ooh, there's Girl Scout cookie time.
Finn, you get the wagon ambled down the road a ways, and it's early morning, like probably 7:30-ish right now, but it's still bustling out here in town as folks are going to and fro, and you see a fair amount of little carts like yourself that are opening up, setting up fire pits and stuff to get breakfast cooking, and yeah, as you pull up to the stables there, the stable hands are busy mucking the stalls, and all the snowpack that has inhabited the ground here inside the stables has quickly turned to mush and mud yesterday. So it's inside the stables at the very least, pretty. It's a mess, but there on the outskirts, you are able to set up shop, and let's go ahead and roll me a. You know what, Finn? Roll me just a straight charisma check, as we call that a curb appeal, to see how well you set up the storefront.
15.
15? That is perfectly serviceable, especially for weary travelers along the Evermarch. So I know that you've got some beer in the wagon. Anything else you're putting up for sale? Cooking, doing anything this morning, Finn?
Absolutely. We are going to sell the Dreamer's Feast, which is essentially a piece of toast, an egg, and a slice of bacon.
Right on.
That's it. It is either an open face or a closed faced sandwich. Your choice.
I gotcha. Heck yeah. So you are going about the process of getting that taken care of. We will snap back to Finn here in just a few minutes. What's everybody else doing up at the tap house?
I'm going
is
to.
there
You go first.
Is there a church in town?
Actually, there in fact is, but I don't know that any of you guys have. You know what, Hunter? Actually, make me a history check.
Amazing. Put my red pen down for a second. History, you say?
Yes, sir.
Because I think Hunter, in his mind at the moment, he's like, okay, new town, haven't been to before. Let's see. At the first place I think I could probably know some stuff about demons would be a church. So let's see if they know anything, try and find any more information that I haven't heard before about shadow demons.
Okay, cool. Heck yeah.
That's a 6.
A 6, I gotcha. With a 6, I will say... Sorry, I've got too many... One second, guys. Sorry. I have... I have a key light now, so I don't have to be using my stupid computer monitors to be acting as stand-in key lights, so I have, like, access to everything on my screens, which is delightful. But I have misplaced my document. But yeah, with a 6, I think you are aware that there is a large building you remember seeing when you were chasing down Lyle with Finn the other day. there was a big a building that you saw in the distance towards the eastern wall, but you didn't get close enough to get a good look at it. But there's definitely enough there to start, posing questions to townsfolk or whatnot to see if...
Yeah, I'll go there, see if there's any kind of cleric of the church who knows something about demons or devils of the like, just to see if I can get any information that I haven't gotten so far.
Okay, so you're wanting to just skip asking townsfolk and just go straight there and kind of just hope for the best type of situation?
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah, I'll ask townsfolk first.
Okay.
See, and then go. Sorry, I misunderstood you.
No, totally fine. I wanted to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding you because both options are viable. And as far as townsfolk goes, there are a few people in the tavern. Most notably is Tenarb, who is behind the counter filling a series of mugs. And he kind of looks over at you and can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, sir, but I was wondering if there's some kind of holy place in town, some kind of church that might help me with some research that I've been doing over the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is a church. You want to go down to the eastern wall, and you're not going to miss it. It's called the Tri-Point Spire. The Tri-Point Temple, and it is. You won't miss it. It's 3 big.
Let me guess, because it's got 3 points.
You're a sharp one. I like it. It's 3 points. The temple is dedicated to the 3 gods that are most widely, I guess, worshipped here, but not all of them. You see, it's mostly dedicated to. It's got space for congregations, you see, and gatherings for the different faiths. But they've got 3 statues out front, and that's how you know who it is. Dedicated to. Not that all churches are that way. He's kind of like doing like 12 different things at once as he sets the mugs on the counter and is going back in and like fidgeting with his breakfast that's cooking on over the fire and coming back out.
Yep.
And
but he has ADHD.
Oh, he doesn't have ADHD. Tenarb is just a businessman. But he says the Tri-Point is mostly dedicated to the Gale Song, the Rhyme Ward, and the Gloomweaver. Now you're going to find people in Boreala and all over the Riven Coast that are going to worship many different gods, but those are just the 3 most prominent here in town. And it mostly has to do with just our local traditions and.
The Tri-Spire, what are the 3 gods again?
So that is the Gale Song. They call her Nimbus. Tormund, the Rhyme Ward. He's the he's the snow you're seeing outside. He's the winter's chill. And then Nixus, the Gloomweaver, and to remind us all that we all have one place we're going.
Well, that'll probably be mighty helpful on my search. I appreciate you kindly for the help that you're doing here.
Yeah, you just go up to the Lord's Hall and take a turn on the thoroughfare there, and it'll get you straight to it. You can't miss it.
Yeah, I think Hunter puts on his hat to kind of cover his eyes from the snow, and makes his way out to head over to the temple.
Cool. Tome, you were saying something earlier. What was you up to, sir?
He's actually going to turn towards Adran. He's going to just kind of awkwardly just like poke him on the side. Because I assume he's like reading something or doing something.
Yeah, Adrian.
Uh-oh.
Oh
no! Oh, it focused for a second. Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with like a plan. I kind of mutter to myself like, "You find a chicken that flammable."
Doesn't even.
You'll find out.
No.
We
Sorry, I
have
didn't
polymorph.
yeah, just
Make it that.
I would I need advice on something.
Okay.
Well, last night I performed an audit of my capabilities during our little excursion during entering the mine. While certainly useful, there were areas that were lacking. I don't mean lacking towards you or anyone else, more towards myself. I found that despite the magics that I were using that were effective,
What are you trying to...
I
think
was...
he broke again.
Damn it, it did.
Yeah, no, you're
Right.
good now. It's
Okay, yeah, my Discord froze while we're in the middle of something. I just kind of missed it.
Yeah.
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we missed everything you said, buddy.
Oh.
What I am attempting to say is that a key weakness I find is that I am almost entirely reliant on my magic. In fact, if one of those creatures managed to get close enough, then, well, I might be defenseless. I wish to remedy this. I need assistance in picking a weapon.
Okay.
Particularly, let me rephrase. I wish to go to a blacksmith, but I have very limited knowledge of how you say the economy functions,
Okay, I can chaperone you for the day.
and I wish to not be taken advantage of. If you catch my meaning.
Absolutely, I got you.
Also, I think it would be wise to, if we are able to, descend down into those mines. And did you notice the strange properties of the water during that little fight?
I was a bit busy trying not to die.
It was secondary at the time, as my first priority was to ensure the safety of those who had been captured, but it sticks out in my mind. I wish to examine it.
Okay. We'll go back in. What was going on with the water again? Like you said, I was busy with the necromancer slinging magic my way.
It was unusual, but again, it didn't really merit any second thought. The priority was the people.
Right.
It's just... Oh yeah, go on.
I was going to say, Adran, you can roll me a history check if you want to, just to see if you're able to try and get some information off of that.
I can do that.
Because it was a thing that I vaguely mentioned, and then I
Gotcha.
did that on purpose.
Gotcha. Well, also like I said, my notes didn't save, which is I'm switching to a hard notebook.
I got
Yeah,
you.
6.
6, hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird water. Nah.
Yeah. There was a scary guy trying to kill me. I was kind of preoccupied. Yeah, we can absolutely go back. I'll make sure I take my notebook and we'll sit and study and see what we can figure out from it. I mean, if it's weird, it's got to have properties. If it has properties, it's useful in some way.
Should we bring, if we go on this excursion into the mine, should we bring one more person? In case
I would recommend it because I'm not much of a fighter myself. You've got your magic, but you express vulnerabilities. We should probably take someone who knows how to hit things.
Then it would be wise to find Calandra. Just smiling near to you. I suppose we should ask Calandra if she would like to assist. Possibly Melee if she's available.
Absolutely.
He's sitting at the table in the cabinet.
Oh. Melee, would you wish to join us on this discussion?
Hi, I'm right here.
Calandra's not. Calandra's sleeping in because she was up late.
Just like
She says, into the mines again? Ew. I had a plan I was going to go for today.
Or
Very
what are
well.
you?
In response, she'll shout to, is Brant working, or his wife, or who's,
Oh, it's Tenarb's working. Yeah, what's up?
Is there like a business licensing in this town? If someone wanted to open a storefront, is there some fee they'd have to pay or something, or how does that work?
Well, weirdly enough, there's really no fees. They kind of... I can see where the confusion might come in with, the loopholes that they make you jump through to take up work in the city, but strangely enough, they can't turn down anyone that wants to, open up a business because, it'd be goofy to turn away, residents and customers. So they pretty much, that's why you see the Evermarch gets clogged up pretty quick every day.
So there's no tracking of it or anything?
No, not really. No, it's
Or who's in town? Interesting.
It's something that the new margrave's working on trying to get changed around a little bit, because there's obviously some tax revenue that could be had, but convincing people that they need to start paying taxes.
That is it.
Well, do you happen to know, is there a section of the city where I might find construction companies? Or if I wanted to build a house, where would I turn to?
Oh, well, yeah, we down mostly along the southern wall. You're going to find a lot of the sawyers and the lumber yards, craftsmen, carpenters, the like. Mostly around the southern wall, a few outside of town, but yeah, there's always demand for the carpentry folks.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
And then after he walks off to serve someone else or something, she'll lower her voice and say, I want to go ask around there and try to find somebody who worked on Valemore's estate. See if we can get some sort of floor plan or something.
This is a good idea.
Art.
Yes. While we investigate those mines to see what he could potentially be digging for, yes, it would indeed be wise to see if we can find any secrets about that abode. Exemplary.
Yeah, if nothing else, where to look if we don't have much time to search.
I suppose we should also stop by the margrave at some point, because he did mention something about a reward.
Absolutely.
God damn it! Why'd you have to remember that part?
But first, a key player is missing. I'm going to walk upstairs and attempt to find Calandra's room. Because it is morning.
I just have this in my head of Tome, like, opening a door, girl screams, sorry, wrong room. Opens another door, girl screams, sorry, wrong room. Opens another girl. Wait, what's going on in here?
I'm actually imagining the Sheldon. It's just like, Calandra. There's nobody in here.
Just saying her name until she answers.
Yeah. Just like very, very robotically, just like Calandra.
Oh.
About that time, like, she's ready and dressed and she's just kind of walking out of her room.
Oh, there you are.
Tome's knocking on the door.
Hello,
like, why are
Tome.
you guys doing ancient Greek wrestling?
This saves me much time. There's like a dude on the other side. Like he's got a hatchet and he just like slams the door shut.
This isn't where I parked my car.
Just a quick question for you guys. Can you hear Larry purring on the microphone? Because
No.
he's literally
Oh, no.
right next to it, purring up a storm.
No,
No.
No, he's a good boy.
I can't, but that's precious.
No, we can't. Tell him to purr louder.
Yeah. 11.
Good for views.
He says no comment.
Good morning. Where did you go off to last night, if I may query?
I found,
Yes.
I found something that I was needing to check up on?
I'd like to make just kind of squint.
Yeah, make an
I'm not
insight.
very good at these.
I'm just like I don't really have eyelids, so like just kind of like like the little eye holes just kind of like just like you hear the grinding of
Wink
metal
on
just
and
like
off.
Broom.
It's like
mm.
it's like a camera shutter, like just
Yeah.
Hell yeah, roll some insight.
You got it.
Gosh. You caught me a little off guard.
16.
I mean, she's not being. She's with a 16. She's not being deceptive. She's just not being forthcoming.
He just shrugs. just like not important.
Yeah. For what
It's
this is
just-
going on, it's yeah.
Yeah, he's like irrelevant. I was going out with Adran to pick up a weapon. I thought your expertise in the art of hitting things incredibly hard would be useful.
I would love to help you.
Also, we wish to go back into the depths of the mine and examine a foreign substance that I believe might be linked to our endeavors.
Okay. I'd love to do that.
Excellent. He's gonna open the door that he was next to. Apologies, I found my companion. Slam shut. Starts walking down.
Like, what was that about?
Yeah. Cal, roll me a perception check, Cal. We'll see if you can see what was happening in that room.
Oh gosh.
He's got a crossbow bolt just sunks into the door.
Not 20.
Yeah, I mean, the door was only open for a brief second, but you saw a couple halflings and a centaur. You don't know how the centaur got up on the second floor, but you don't know how he's getting down either, but like...
Horses can walk upstairs.
Dog mask on.
It's the going downstairs that's difficult.
you open up the door and you're like,
Shows.
oh my god, Princess Diana.
How'd you get here?
You know too much. She casts darkness. Roll initiative.
I just want to stop and appreciate the idea that the whole paparazzi accident was just the start of an isekai that centered of this world.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not editing that out. I'm not sorry, England.
I'm kind of. He like stomps down the stairs towards Adran, just kind of standing next to him, just says, "I have obtained the Calandra."
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at the idea of Princess Diana and isekai.
She's going to be an NPC in this campaign. I'm just telling you.
Oh my god.
That's awesome.
Guess what you just did?
But as you guys make your way down into the tap room, we will cut away for just a brief moment and zip across town to the lighthouse where Mr. Finlow is setting up shop. So an interesting question, Finn. As you're setting up shop, there are... you've got a really good spot. I don't know if Finn understood when he parked up next to that spot that he's got one of the best spots in town, but he's got one of the best spots in town. You're right next to the front gates. Most of the traffic comes in from inland.
Absolutely.
And there are now 5 or 6 stalls that are like setting up around you. So you said that you were setting up a breakfast situation. So I wanted to ask you something because I happen to know that I happen to know 2 things. I allegedly know more than 2 things, but 2 things that are relevant in this moment. Number 1 being that Finlow is a cleric of the Dreamtide, who is the patron of mischief and the moon. And the second one being that Finlow does not have eggs and bacon and toast. So, do you want to roll me a sleight of hand check to see if you can obtain some from some of the stalls that are setting up around you?
I will be happy to.
Hell yeah.
That would be a dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
the
Mage hands making getting some work done.
the little auntie next to you is setting up her shop, and she is pushing 80 years old, and she cannot see what's going on in front of her. It doesn't seem like, and yeah, she brought a
I'm gonna
whole.
grab the necessary.
Yeah, she brought.
Warwick is stealing from an old
I want to
lady.
leave a couple
I
pieces of gold.
Oh no, you're
Hold
not.
on.
You're not stealing
I want to
everything.
leave a couple pieces of gold.
She
Oh, that
is.
makes it okay.
She is extraordinarily well provisioned for her day's work. So, a basket of eggs and a slab of bacon and a loaf of bread, not going to go missing amongst her vast stores. But you do drop a couple gold pieces there, in recompense. You had your fire going and you're cooking away, and she doesn't seem to think anything. Well, let me... Yeah, no, she doesn't think anything's amiss. So, as you're sitting there, you see one kid comes walking up, and he says, "You the little short fellow that we sold some teckle to the other day?"
So loud. But yeah, what's up? Do you have any more?
Always got more. Just wondering what you got for breakfast.
Oh, I have something called the Dreamer's Feast. For any of us who know, the Dreamer believes in minimalism, yet extravagance at the same time. She wants things to be simple, yet perfect. So what I have for you is what is called the Dreamer's Feast. It is a piece of deliciously buttered, with goat butter, bread, the finest slab of apple-cut bacon you have got, and a nice fried egg, perfectly seasoned.
Hell yeah.
Each pairs wonderfully with one of my many fine ales.
Well, and he kind of looks around. Yeah, I take a little cup of ale and a sandwich. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'd like to make a little bargain with you.
Okay.
I will give you 2 cups of ale and that sandwich on the house.
Well, it's not
The same amount of teckle that you gave me before.
It's not really an issue of it being on a house or off of a house as much as it is I just can't be drinking too much on the clock. And you see
Okay.
he had put a shovel down next to the thing. He clearly works over in the stables, so he's...
All right, I'll go ahead and serve him up the sandwich as I'm sitting there cracking the egg and doing and seasoning and everything. And I'm just asking him, what can you tell me about the guy who runs this place? Like, I've heard some weird stuff about him.
Which, the guy that runs the stables, sir?
No, the guy who runs the whole town. What's his name? The Lord. What do you guys call him? What's his name?
Oh, God. Now, I don't remember what the new Margrave's name was. Varon.
Margrave.
Lothar Varon, yeah. Margrave Varon?
This Varon guy, yeah. What do you know about him? Like, I've heard people say he's as sweet as honey. I've heard people say you should stay the hell away from him.
Well, you're gonna hear both, I think. He's seems like he's doing good enough by the folks around here. He's trying real hard to turn the town around and keep it clean but yeah, people aren't gonna like that too much sometimes when you start messing with the status quo, I guess.
I'm going to, as I'm cooking, I'm going to take out my pipe and I'm going to pack it up and I'm going to start talking to him a little bit more. And I'm just going to say, what does he do with the people who break the law around here? I've heard of people going missing, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Well, I mean, if you break the law, they take you to jail. They lock you up. They hold you for a little bit. Or if it's, bad enough, they ship you off to Port Umbra or somewhere even further. But,
Australia.
yeah. It's called...
Have you heard?
It's pronounced Austria.
Nice.
Sorry, what was
Well,
that? Have I heard...
What, like, I've heard about, I mean, you heard about these people who are disappearing down in the mines, haven't you?
Well, I mean, the mines are a long way away.
Small town.
I mean, but there's all the way
Small,
across
big
town. But it's... You work in the mines, you kind of expect it's going to be dangerous, right? So I don't know if it's any truth to it or if it's just clumsy miners. But
What do you heard?
Well, there's you say a rash of disappearances, but a few miners here and there. But miners always get hurt. They fall in holes in the ground or get covered up in collapses. Like it's an occupational hazard, I guess.
I heard the Margrave's having a party tonight. Are you going?
Oh no! I'm too low to be important for anything like that.
Oh, that can't be right. Look at you out here. You're busting your butt every single day to make sure these farmers are like, what kind of people are they even inviting to this thing if not the real citizens?
He just looks at you like, I have no idea. Is he like...
All right. So I don't know what he's eating right now because I haven't delivered his food yet, but I was walking over to deliver his food.
Oh, then it was just a
And he
whole
looked
big old
at-
handful of snow. Yellow as shit.
Well, two things. And I'm going to slide him over the plate, and it is going to be the egg with the 2 pieces of bacon broken into like little eyes. And the bread is going to have like a little smiley face carved into it.
Hell yeah.
This is the Dreamer's Feast. Well, listen, as we all know, bad gas travels fast in a small town. So if you hear anything, you come find me, all right? And I'm going to reach over and I'm going to go for the normal bottle that he would normally get. I'm going to reach up to the top shelf and get the top shelf bottle down. Pour him a little bit more than half a glass. Is just a way of saying thanks. I'm going to hand it over to him and say, that's from the Dreamer's Reserve. I'm going to put it back up on the top shelf.
Oh, okay. And he takes a sip. Not bad. Yeah, thanks, mister. You're not bad for a little weirdo.
I wear that name tag proudly.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes a lot
Anytime.
like Granny Merkel's sandwiches over there, but I mean, there's something special about
I
yours.
mean, do you see how little and old Granny Merkel is?
Oh, she's tiny. I walked past her and she didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's because she's a gnome. She's old as can be. She's using the Dreamer's recipe too, but without permission.
Fair enough.
How dare.
Hold on. I'm gonna roll a persuasion check on this just to be sure.
Go for it, man. I love it.
21.
21. Yeah, I believe you. And then about that time you hear some yelling. Jai, you need to get over here. And he says, okay, damn it. I got to get back to work. And he shoves the rest of the sandwich in his mouth and finishes his drink and scampers off.
Have a good one.
Waves off behind him. So do me a favor, Mr. Finn. Roll me a D100.
That will be a 12.
12. I gotcha. Okay, so over the course of your 1 second here. The morning comes and goes, Finn, as you're handing out sandwiches and drinks and sharing the good word of the dreamer. You are able to amass a sum of 6 gold pieces, which is significant when we're, charging silver pieces a meal. And as you're going about your morning, serving up breakfasts and drinks and tales, we will cut back to Mr. Hunter, who is walking.
Just real quick,
Oh, go ahead.
before we shut it down. I do want to, as the lunch rush dies down and I'm running out of bacon and bread, gonna go ahead and shut it down.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go back to the original tavern, and I'm gonna try to restock or see if they will sell me some things at wholesale. Like, hey, I see you've got 10 crates of X back there. I'll buy 2 of them off you for this much. Kind of restock for my sales.
Okay, I got you. We will. I'm going to make a note of that, and we will get to that here in
Perfect.
just a little bit, just to try and keep.
Just
time
wanted to
lined
kind
up.
of, yeah, just wanted to keep that in mind. All right,
Heck yeah. So yeah, we snap on over to Mr. Hunter, who is making his way through town towards the eastern wall.
Amazing.
Sorry, I'm trying to find my ink pen, and I don't know where it went. Oh my god. I have 2 ink pens. Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Nope, wrong pen still. Good lord. Sorry, this is going to make an awful lot of noise, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. I had a backup pen.
Sorry, that was my response to the bad noise, but it didn't happen. So now I feel foolish.
Oh, I was.
I was cat screaming.
What?
Fine. Oh.
I thought it was gonna be a flashbang or something.
Why are you screaming?
Cat aggro, robots in disguise. Oh, he's just a choker.
Choker.
Is that Basil? Basil?
Is he Basil?
Basil, yeah.
Oh no, she does not
Tonight
wanna be
is
here.
definitely cat night on the podcast.
Always.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah, as you're
That is-
making your way, Hunter, it is it's a busy morning. This road gets a fair amount of foot traffic on it. Not as much as the Evermarch by a long shot, and most of the traffic is foot traffic. So the kind of deep cut ruts that exist along the Evermarch are less prominent down here. And as you make the corner at the Lord's Hall towards the east wall, it is immediately evident your destination. This large, massive building sits at the end of the thoroughfare. You can still see, like, even from this distance, massive. It looks, I guess, from your point of view, as the road curves around, kind of, you're seeing a big, like, obsidian or dark granite slab that kind of makes like a trapezoidal shape a little bit, as the oh good lord, these massive points jet out from the center building here, with what looks to be like people milling about in the courtyard, as well as you can see the 3 large statues coming into play that are situated at the front of the temple. And as you kind of make your way along, these statues stand roughly 15 foot tall each. They are massive, and the central one depicts a male being in what is presumably gleaming armor, with a mighty 2-headed axe held high up overhead. To his left is a feminine figure, shorter by maybe a foot or 2 than the central statue, and this one has a large greatsword held high overhead. And then the final one is another feminine figure with a staff of black metal that is held high overhead. And they grow closer as you approach, but there is a legitimate throng of energy around this temple as people are coming and going. And as you kind of approach even closer, you get the idea that this is more than just a gathering place for religion, and is likely a institute or a seminary of some kind as well, as there looks to be residential areas of the temple, or apartments, or some type of dormitory type situation going on. It looms in the distance as you approach.
Hunter makes his way in. I do think of Hunter's a tiefling and demonic and infernal in origin. Whenever he enters hallowed ground, it just feels like there's a shiver running up his spine, in that sense of oh, this is a force that is preternaturally opposed to what I am. And I think he's gonna go in there, try and keep as low of a profile as possible, very much trying to for lack of a better word, stick into the shadows there, trying to be unrecognizable, unnoticeable as possible, and look for whoever seems like they're in charge, or someone who can get him the information that he needs.
Gotcha. Hunter, as you make your way into the front arches of the temple here, they're kind of interesting, these points on the temple. They're open air, at the very least for the first part. Each one of them has an open air gathering space, and it seems like their congregation halls are open air, which does, seem a little I don't know, interesting, being it's cold as shit
in
here.
this weather. I gotta say,
it's not the most ideal situation, but yeah, as you walk through, there's a large arch on either side of each point, and as you walk through, the arch is extraordinarily intricate. It seems to be dark marble on either side, with stained glass running through, almost like an RGB strip, almost, but it's stained glass, on the inside of this arch, and at the across the top. And you are interesting. Of the 3 points, which one are you walking into, Hunter? The center, left, or right?
Ooh, I think I'm gonna go for. I think the Death God will probably have the most information about demons.
Okay,
That feels like it's going to be.
Hell yeah! So that would be the rightmost point here, and it's fairly easy to tell as the Nixus's statue is on the right side, and the stained glass is adorned with gold and silver threads that kind of wind up either side, and what almost looks like red and black teeth gnashing at the top. And inside the stained glass, at the top of the arch, and looking across to the arch behind you, with the center point. I don't know why point is so difficult to say tonight, but the all the arches seem to say the same thing at the center top. And they the words in common Borealan read 3-point harmony is the name of the temple here. And as you make your way inside, so we are going to the Gloomweaver's church, so that would be a different person. So, walking in, you, there is no services in currently taking place here. The altar is long and narrow, and looks like a plinth or a dais that could be used for holding something. Potentially 5-6 foot long. And again, narrow, maybe 2 foot wide at the
Coffins?
widest. Without a check, I think you have a pretty good indication that this is like a funeral plinth for displaying a coffin. And you kind of get that vibe that this is maybe not the most commonly worshipped gods here in Maraglen. And as you kind of approach this altar, and again, this weird presence, when you entered the temple grounds themselves, Hunter, you felt that strangeness that you're akin to feeling. When you come in here, it's different. Will you roll me either roll me a religion check as you walk in there, Hunter?
Ooh, I am proficient in religion.
Ooh, we like
That is a 16.
16, heck yeah.
That is a 16.
Hunter, how proficient in religion? Interesting question to follow that up. Do you is this more of a active interest of Hunter's, or more of a happy coincidence of his upbringing? Do you think his?
And here's the thing, because I've thought about this of what him being proficient in religion means. I think it's less of a he is a pious person and more of a he is superstitious.
I see. Okay.
He came from a very, very deeply superstitious town, and a lot of those beliefs like ingrained into him. So he's someone who, like, if someone mentions like a devil, he'll he has like a piece like salt that he will throw over his shoulder. He's someone who believes deeply in luck, in spirits, and the fact that there's a very natural order of things. So, and he's also very well read on demons and monsters and stuff like that.
Heck yeah. See, I think let's lean into that superstition a little bit. As you, and just to kind of give the people at home just a tiny little bit of flavor and world building a little bit, as you kind of make your way in, Hunter hasn't spent a lot of time under the light of faith, but it's not lost on him the gods that normal people follow. So maybe out of habit, maybe out of anxiety, maybe out of reverence, to the onlooker it's hard to tell, but you maybe pick up a couple of small stones as you're walking up to the altar, Hunter, and leave those just kind of on top of the stone of the altar itself. Kind of a local tradition here is that, like in time long past here in the mortal world of Earth, we would occasionally put coins over the eyes of the dead. In parts of the Riven Coast, stone from the earth to return them to the earth is kind of a common practice for the passing. So kind of just as to honor the superstition. And as you're kind of taking in the space, that presence is different here, Hunter, and it feels kind of like you're being watched almost, but not by the eyes of the individual who comes out from the back, stepping out of a door that seems to lead into an actual interior space that is properly closed and warded from the weather. The steps let me describe what you see. A tall, broad-shouldered man with a commanding presence. He's got once dark hair that looks to be now streaked with silver, and it's long enough to be tied back a little bit to, at the very least, impart an air of discipline. As you kind of meet his eyes as he comes out, they're pale blue, almost like stormlit waves, but there's also this kind of coldness to them. This chill, but they seem to carry the weight of wisdom and faith, and they are discerning as they peer into your eyes, Hunter. Your coal pricks of eyes that he looks for a second and tilts his head just faintly, and you can tell too that he's wearing layered ceremonial robes, but they don't appear to be like the nice ones that you'd wear for like a service or something. They kind of your day to day. They're utilitarian linens, but they are.
It's like the priest, like, you know, the get up, not the full like white stuff with like the stole.
Yeah, not the vest.
You tell I was raised Catholic.
The black suit, white collar.
The black with a little white.
Yeah, well, a little bit more than that. They are still wearing robes that are layered, but they're much less opulent than the more formal. But they are still white under the like as a base layer, with deep blues and blacks over the top, as well as red piping down the hems of it as they kind of hang open. And he carries a black metal, simple black metal, like bow staff, similar to the one you saw in the statue being carried outside. And he walks in, and you can tell the way that he's walking, Hunter. Years of experience would tell you that the staff is ceremonial and less for support and walking assistance. So he steps out from this door, closing it behind him, and with an air of decorum and ceremony and possibly theatrics, he sets the staff down with a heavy thud on the ground, echoing off of the stone under foot. Welcome to the 3-Point Harmony. All are welcome under the gaze of the Gloom Weaver. What can I do for you on this fine day? Has someone passed? Is it time for them to move?
Hunter takes off his hat as a sign of reverence and is like, no one has passed. I'm just passing through. Someone in town. I'm just trying to see if you have a little bit of information that might be useful to me.
Well, anything I can do to help, I would be glad to. Are you a student of the flock?
Kindly no. I've been, as you can see, I've been marked by other forces in my life, so divine magic and I don't mix that well.
And he,
student of the earth.
He kind of straightens his back a little bit and kind of like looks at you and he says, well, I do see the touch of influence on you, but we're all the same. So what specifically can I help you with?
I'm trying to do my fair share of research on a specific type of demon. Affected my family long ago, and I'm on a quest to get a little bit of revenge. I just need to know as much as I can about them before I put it back into the Gehenna where it belongs.
A demon? Interesting.
Devil, I know.
A devil?
Devil, I know.
Oh.
No, there's a quaint semantic difference that I'm not too privy to. I just know that there are beings with horns that hurt mortals out in the world.
I see. That's quite troubling. Demons, I can understand. Devils, that's quite troubling. Quite troubling indeed. That means someone else has intentions.
My father, he long time ago made a pact, and affected me in this way.
Well, that's unfortunate as it may be, not entirely uncommon around here. People live hard lives on the coast and, well, they turn to strange places and strange bedfellows to get by when times get tough. I can't blame them. I just wish that maybe I was there or someone else was there for a better offering of direction, possibly at the right moment. But if you're trying to kill a devil, we can say that our...
I just need to know what... Sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
I just need to know what I needed. I just need to know any information you can find about shadow devils. Would be much appreciated.
Well, why don't you come with me, my friend? It's chilly out here. It's much warmer inside the temple. We can go check out our ledgers and see if we can find anything that
he follows.
Jumps to mind. And yeah, he leads you into the back. And as you make your way into the back of the shadow ward of the 3-Point Harmony, most of the folks in here are wearing dark brown cloaks, like very dark brown, to the point where you'd probably think it's black if you weren't so accustomed to the truth of true darkness. But they lead you back. There are not that many folks in this area of the temple, and he's kind of reveling in the moment. It seems like he might not even get that many visitors to this area of the church. You see, we are a little bit of a necessity here, but not necessarily people's favorite necessity. They tend to look over us most when they can. Normal folks don't like to think about death too often, and it is around every corner.
There's another part of life.
The last part.
You can say that.
Few can say that. I like to believe that there's something more beyond. And that's what we try to give people, a little bit of hope when the times are darkest. And he leads you into a vast library that makes the Lord's Hall's library look quite insignificant.
Sweet.
And, he looks at you. I'm sorry. Also, I'm not gonna force this in. He would have introduced himself earlier as the.
Yeah. What's his? Yeah, I haven't. I blank spot my notes for him. What's his name?
Yeah, his name is Adran. Edran. Solmere. Solmere. And he is the High Cleric of, or sorry, High Weaver of the Flock is his title.
Cool ass name.
He is a cleric, but his title is the High Weaver.
So cool ass name.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying. Hunter is like, it's like immediate like wealth of knowledge. It's just like, oh, everything I need is probably in here. And also, there's a little part of him like, wow, a cleric who didn't immediately try and run me out of his temple for being a devil. This is a new thing for me.
Well, make me a perception check, Hunter, as you kind of make your way into this library space.
Amazing. Ooh, 21.
21 is fantastic. At the far end of the library, this room is probably 50 foot long. is one of the larger rooms in this entire temple complex, and it seems to run the full length of it from one side to the other. At the far left end of this temple complex, or of this library, sorry, is a female figure, again, an older female figure wearing similar robes to what Adran was wearing, but these are more vibrant with more blues and golds and silvers and whites. And you notice that she has small indications of tiefling ancestry poking through her graying but blonde hair. So just an interesting point of case that things are possibly a little bit different in this town, which is a welcome sign, at the very least. She is someone of station, it seems, that doesn't seem to be held back by her rather confusing and conflicting, exactly. But yeah, we will cut back to you here in just a little bit, Mr. Hunter. We're going to venture over to the tap house as Adran and Tome and Cal and Maylee, I guess you're probably heading out at about the same time as well for your little part of that mission.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys are just getting ready to head out onto the street and make your way towards the Lord's Hall to at least collect on that part of your reward and start your all's day off.
You'd probably know where a blacksmith is too.
Absolutely. And well, and I believe that there is a blacksmith like right across the road from Brant's. Without pulling up the overlay, one of these two is for sure a weaponsmith. I do believe. So yeah, as you guys make your way into this place, which is called the if somebody can beat me to it, I'll give you inspiration.
I already have it. I can't get another.
Well, you can.
Oh.
It just, it replaces it. It's like a temporary hit point. But the Forge and Stone is the name of the shop that is kind of across and catty corner to Brant's Tap House there. As you guys make your way in there, we will cut over to Melee. As you make your way through town, you're looking for information on you're looking for carpenters and contractors, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can find somebody who worked on his estate.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how long ago it was built, but
gotcha. Well, I mean, you can do some quick mental math as you're kind of walking down the road to understand that town's been here for 10 years. Probably a good bet that he did not have an estate here prior to that point. So yeah, you're as you kind of make your way down through town. Do you want to roll me just a general perception check as you kind of make your way through town?
sure. 25.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Hey.
With a natural 20. I love it. That's juicy. Ooh, that's really juicy. Stand by one moment. I have to find my phone. I cannot find my phone. I'm going to send you a message with something on it later, Jelly, for that. A little bit of extra information. If you give me just a second, I want to do that right. I want to try and figure out. I want to try and figure out a way to do that without it being annoying to me. So let me You know,
Hey guys, while he's sending this message, go ahead, sign up for our podcast. I mean,
Hell
sign up for our Patreon.
yeah, do that. I'll just say this. I will give you more details later. When you're around the middle of town, and the feeling goes away pretty quickly, but you get this feeling of being watched a little bit, Melee, and it raises this anxiety in you that you haven't felt since you were on the Narrows escaping Port Umbra. Just this type of scrutiny that you're feeling from nowhere, and it's hard to say if it's just the anxiety of walking through town with a shit ton of people out everywhere. So yeah, it's hard to say, but you kind of make your way through town and quickly come across a bustling area of warehouses and workshops that sport all manner of carpentry, there's actually a full sawmill down here on this end of town, with workshops that are working on assembling cabinets and furniture, as well as doors, fences, coffins. Anything you could think of seems to be being built in this area right here. Doesn't appear to be any places here that are like assembling building materials necessarily, but you're not really sure if that's the type of thing that would be assembled and then shipped, or just assembled on site type of thing.
Okay. She'll tuck the skull into her pouch as she approaches. And then, remembering all of the parties with potential trading partners and that sort of thing, she kind of turns on the charm and aristocracy.
Hell yeah.
And I guess look for the most well-off looking person in this area.
I gotcha.
Vendor.
Yeah, there is a little halfling is sitting kind of up on a stump at the sawmill. They've got a pocket watch in hand, and they're just kind of like tapping their arm on the arm of the chair. Tapping their finger on the arm of the chair, just kind of absent-mindedly, as they watch the process of folks going about cutting and hewing lumber, and someone sees you walking up, Melee, and they look over and they're like, "Hey, Hob, there's a normal person, Hob." And the little halfling looking at their pocket watch, they look up and they're like, "What?" Well, it pulls out a monocle and sticks it in their eye and looks at you. Like, "Oh, okay. What can Hob do for you? You looking for
I'll smile down graciously.
Looking for a
Say,
new chair or
rather more than that. I'm new in town and saw Lord Vailmont's estates on my way in. I would very much like something built on the plot of land that I plan buying soon.
Oh.
Do you know who might be the person to inquire for a large structure like that?
Yeah, you're talking to Hob Bunderfoot. Hob's going to be the person for you. Hob builds the finest homes. We do stonework and we do carpentry. And Pip, go get the samples. And another halfling goes scampering off from the sawmill area towards one of the buildings. So how big are we talking?
Did we get any glimpse of the estate on our way into town, or is it like on a different side of the city?
So yeah, the estate would have been on the southern side of town, but on the northern side of town, you did pass a few larger estates and like farmhouses as you kind of made your way into the more civilized area around Marglin. And yeah, it's there's not a lot of opulence out here, but some of the estates are about the closest you could get to opulence. You see, you remember a fair amount of like a mixed masonry, weird garish, kind of like watchtowers and battlements seem to be popular stylistic choices, and generally just large estate homes. You know, I don't know. It's nothing quite as opulent as the homes in Port Umbra by any stretch of the imagination, but out here they're likely akin to palaces.
Okay, yeah, she'll say, I want one like that one south of town, but with some of the crenellations from the one just northwest of town. And I have it should be at least a 3-acre plot, although that'll just be the lands. Structure itself won't take that much space.
Heck yeah. The Pip, the other halfling, comes up, and they've got on like a full spectacles, and they've kind of got a bald little spot going on the top of their head with a apron, and it's sawdust all over it. And hands Hob a portfolio that's kind of leather bound, and Hob opens it up, grabs a pencil, and starts jotting some stuff down. So, okay, some crenellations, 3.5 acres, and okay. All right, so perfect. And the name on the account?
That'll be Maybe.
Maybe. Okay.
And you said you worked on Lord Valemore's? I want only the best craftsmanship.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Fucking maybe.
Maybe. I love it.
Last
You
name
said it.
Luth. Or no, last name Funke.
You son of a bitch, Joe.
Yeah, she
That's hilarious.
takes a deep breath and composes herself for a half second before putting on her most winning smile. And I'm going to use my recovery die, charismatic, to get advantage
Oh yeah, go for
on
it.
persuasion for the next 10 minutes.
Go for it.
Name Robin, last name you blind.
19.
Hey.
Hell yeah. This is
Oh, where do we? We edit it nice.
I don't know. That's a good question. Let me see.
Oh, there we go. I found it. So I have to
Okay.
hit a couple buttons.
Cool. Looks at you for a second. Maybe old Hob worked on Valemore's house. Were you looking to? You really looking to build a house?
Sorry, I was eating something real quick. She says, well, we were planning on investing in some local business here, and I thought that I would start reaching out to try to figure out our local accommodations.
Okay, yeah.
I have a couple other houses I summer in, and
We can
one in Umbra, of course.
We can definitely do something like that. Are you, there's kind of a knowing smile that creeps across Hobbs' lips as he says, we can definitely work on something like that. You see, old Valmore, he had come in with he had this, so many stipulations for the build, you see. He had this big, I don't know if it was gold or silver or what it was, with this big metal honking statue. I tell you what, old Hob would do great things to get that statue. It'd look real nice, melted down into a puddle and then turned into a bunch of coins, you see. But
A lot more useful than standing in someone's yard.
Right. And but so if you're gonna want something similar to the Valemore estate, I'm assuming you're gonna want the extra effort put in to dig out the cellar and the subcellar. I'm assuming.
Oh, it must be at least as large.
Yeah,
We plan to
with the
sway the local populace with
Yeah.
a display of wealth.
and then just in case the local populace becomes a little too unswayable, you probably want one of them tunnels that leads up into the woods a little ways so you can make an escape like Valemore's got, right?
Oh, at least. I think we're... Sorry, on the map, this is a river around the outside, right? Or is there...
This stuff here?
Yeah.
That's kind of like...
Where's...
That's kind of indicating, like, metaphorically, I guess, kind of the more, like, trees and whatnot that kind of surround town. Not really
Okay.
a river, but not nearly as dense as it appears either.
Gotcha. Trying to find... So there's no body of water around here, right?
Not aside from the lake or the small pond that's in the middle of town. And then,
Yeah, she'll say, at least one emergency exit, preferably a couple of bolt holes or emergency rooms. You know, the standard.
well, standard, it's kind of hard to say standard, but, you know, if you're wanting what old Lord Valemore's got, it's the best of the best, right? And hey, listen, if you were to happen to have a statue similarly constructed to Mr. Valemore's statue, you see, that you were gonna possibly want put in your place, you know, if you had one that looked just like old Valemore's, like I say, and you wanted to have that in your place, but you maybe wanted to sell it to old Hob instead, Hob would be interested in buying that statue. But only if you got one just like it, if you understand what Hob's saying.
I will have to look into having one cast. Why must it be just like it?
You roll me an insight check, Melee.
14.
You know an acquisition specialist?
14. He is fairly heavily dropped the act and is almost outright asking you to steal him the statue when you go rob the Valemore estate.
It's awesome.
How large is this statue? I hadn't really thought about what I would want a statue of yet.
Well, I mean, might be difficult to get it out, but you know, if you could, a couple fingers, Pippin like a couple fingers, Hobbit like a couple fingers. So if you could get a couple fingers, even.
I shall take a look at it when I depend upon him to.
Yeah, and that's just if the artisans have any leftover spare hands when you're getting yours cast, you know.
Of course, I'll. If you can point me to them when we're done here, I'll head right over to inquire.
Yeah, there's somewhere over that way, and he just points to the rest of town.
So it sounds like we have a fairly good starting point here. Do you have some sort of plan or something we could build upon? I have some recommendations I'd like to get written down for you.
Well, we don't normally, you know, for a small donation to Hobbs' little establishment here, we might be able to get you a set of plans drawn up, just to to make sure
She
you're happy
says-
with it.
Oh, of course. I was planning on leaving a deposit with you before I left, and plunks 10 gold coins down.
He picks one up and bites it. It's a adequate investment. I think you'll be happy with what you see. Pip's going to get you taken care of right here. Pip, you want to go in there and copy up that estate map blueprint real quick for her? And Pip's like, yeah, right away. Yeah. And Pip and Hob have this thing where they're standing in the middle of open. There's like 15 dudes just hanging out at the sawmill, maybe 10, 20 feet away, and Pip and Hob are like fully doing the back and forth to each other, like on the down low, and it's just like, and
Aww.
Pip will lead you into the main office there and start drawing you up some blueprints. Probably take 30 minutes or so to get it drawn up.
Okay.
And they're not like the most exacting blueprints, but
Can I give him bardic inspiration, pointing out
Absolutely.
ways the house could be made better? Try to get better blueprint.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Let's roll. What's your bardic inspiration? Is it a D6?
A d6, yeah.
Ooh, let's do. You get a serviceable map. It's a 6 on the dice with a 4 on the bardic. So he's got a +2 on his charisma for his performance. So he draws you up a decent little map. Not necessarily the most, but your constant nagging is, like, remember we need that extra basement and that extra, So he's able to get a lot of what you think you might need through there. And while
Does he just have the original copy sitting out while he's doing this?
yeah, it's right there.
Like, can I try to memorize that, or at least look for things that he's missing?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me. Shit. What do you want to roll for that? Perception.
I could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
11. Not the greatest.
Not the greatest. Not bad, though. I think with a combination of your 11 perception and his about a 14 on his performance to draw this map out, I think you guys can probably get it pretty accurate. Maybe not engineering sample accurate, but pretty darn good over the course of 30, 40 minutes. And while you guys are working on that, let's cut to the individuals who are making their way into the Forge and Stone Smithy here in the middle of town. Tome and Adran and Calandra, you guys make your way into a smoky, small, cramped shop that has weapon racks everywhere with short swords, long swords, bows and arrows, as well as looks like a fair amount of like hand tools and other like simpler implements that are easier to craft, as well as a large open doorway that leads out the back. Looks like it's been it can be closed for security's sake, but it opens up to a small backyard that has a large open forge in it, which is kind of explaining a little bit of the smoky atmosphere in here. But it does keep it quite warm as you guys make your way inside.
Gotcha. So I'm going to immediately pick out the craftsman or the salesman, whoever, actual transactions.
I gotcha.
And
that...
I'm just going to kind of sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm just gonna. Yep, that is. There's a half elf that is currently has an armful of short swords that is kind of one at a time, like polishing them off and putting them on a rack that is near the door. Turns to look at you all as you enter, and welcome to Forge and Stone. My name is Hadrick Ironforge. Glad to meet you all.
I'm sorry, what was the name again?
Hadrick, Hadrik, and the last name
Hadrick?
is Ironforge, the most generic NPC last name that existed.
Gotcha. You certainly found yourself in the right line of work with a name like that. Well,
It's like I was born into it.
right.
My father wanted me to go into forging, but all I want to do is dance.
That is my brother Joshua Ironforge, and he runs Ironforge Dance Studio across the road.
Love it.
So I'm just trying to strike up conversation, build some rapport. But after a little bit, I am going to ask, like, so we're here looking for a weapon for my friend here.
Ooh, you are an interesting fella.
I have been called that before, yes.
What?
Interesting that your name is Ironforge, as I am a being that is forged out of metal. Isn't that humorous?
Well, it's humorous, all right. And he kind of walks up to you and knocks on your collarbone a little bit, or what would be the collarbone. He says, well, it's quite not iron, but it's quite interesting. What kind of weapon can old Hadrick get for a strange fellow like you?
Well, the weapons that I am familiar with are small implements like daggers and knives, but I wish to expand my horizons with something larger. I believe the weapon of choice that would suit me best, he kind of looks around the room. He kind of trails towards one of the long swords. Would be one of those implements, the long sword, I believe it is called.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can definitely get you squared away with one of those. You know how to use it?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, you'd be surprised how many people we sell those to that don't have a clue. Honestly, most of them. We're a big hit with the kids.
So we're going to go into the guitar center and you have to have like signs up like not to play the guitars.
I don't see.
This reminds me of a directly. There was a year where the county fair in town brought in a carny who was selling samurai swords from the mall to 13-year-olds, and it was a huge fucking problem.
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine.
I thought that was a common thing because they weren't like samurai swords, but I've definitely seen questionable things for sale at county fairs.
Oh, yeah. But so Hadrick goes over to the rack and pulls off a long sword for you to give it a try out. It's got a real nice but simple kind of braided wire wrapped grip that's looks like silver wire or silver colored wire that's been wrapped around and braided with kind of a almost like a Sims plumb bob of a pommel and a very simple braided metal crossed guard, but it is quite a nice looking little weapon, and he holds it out to you. Well, give that a try. See if you like the way she balances.
Gonna kind of gingerly hold it in one hand, but then kind of realize it's a bit too heavy. Just hold it with two.
I get you. And yeah, it's got some weight to it. It's about probably about 3 pounds ish. All said and done in your hands, maybe a little bit less than that. They could have definitely put a little bit more effort into weight saving, but it seems like a very serviceable weapon.
I'm gonna hold it against my head and close my eyes and attempt to listen to something.
Roll me d20.
Oh. 18.
18. Heck yeah. Yeah, you clonk it against your head and you listen, and you can hear that just very faint sound of resonance as the metal quiets down after it was excited from bonking into your head. It's just vibrating just very faintly, but you're
Can I follow this up with an Arcana check?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not necessarily to determine whether or not it's magical. Tome is listening. Tome is listening to see if it has a voice. Not something sentient, more just something that's alive, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Something similar to him, if that makes sense.
I got
He
you.
is also a being made of metal.
Yeah, roll that stuff. Ooh, solid.
25.
It doesn't feel... It doesn't feel like you. It doesn't necessarily seem like there's anything in there. But there is a warmth to it that is nice and pleasant. And there is... It's kind of hard to explain to a Tome in this situation. But there is this faint little fluttering in a corner of your synapses that fires off. And it's... Again, I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's the only way that you can possibly understand it is if you've ever, in the middle of a situation where you absolutely shouldn't have, picked up a tube of wrapping paper or a broom, and all of a sudden it became a lightsaber. It's kind of that feeling in Tome's.
Feels like that happened about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it's just like that weird like giddiness of like, I've got something cool in my hands.
Oh boy, well now that feeling happens every couple nights for me.
We know, Finn. The whole town knows.
Hey, if they don't want to see it, they should not be walking past that porta potty, okay?
What did I just walk back in on?
Weirdness.
You don't want to know. Come by the porta potty later, I'll show you.
I don't want to.
For a good time, call.
Oh god, you guys tell I'm having fun tonight. I've been
Oh
playing
my
Here I
God.
all
sit,
night.
lighthearted,
Happening with
red
you.
head,
What's
but
This has been a fever dream of a session. Diana is canon in this world now.
It's something, man. It's something.
Every now and then, you gotta have one of those.
You do.
Does this
Sorry, go
does
ahead.
this
Tony.
blade
It's the campaign. We're finally playing D&D.
Yeah. To people who've never seen a D&D campaign before, this is what a D&D campaign is.
Right?
Yeah.
Lots and lots of dick jokes.
We're getting a lot more Monty Python.
Hell yeah. So,
Half
Tome,
a story, half...
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Tome?
does this blade have a name?
Well, we kind of just call it a longsword, but I mean, I'm sure you can name it whenever you like to.
There is no need. I have already heard its name.
What'd you hear?
Helheim.
Oh,
How much for this blade?
much for this blade.
And here's where Adran steps in. We're gonna lean on the rapport I built earlier.
Hell yeah, lean on that rapport.
Yeah.
Well,
So how you put a blade like this? It's been sitting in your shop for a while.
well, yeah. Roll me a persuasion check, Mr. Adran.
Could I slap him on the shoulder and give him guidance?
You sure shit can.
Awesome.
Yeah. Right. Plus 4.
Like Tome looks at you like with the face of a child, like, please, I want this real bad.
Got 12.
12. With was that with the guidance?
Yeah.
12 with the guidance. Well, it has been sitting around here for quite a while, and I'm not gonna lie.
It did a bit dusty when I picked it up, so.
I'm not gonna lie either. I kind of want to see what trouble you can get into with it. I will give you a. I'll tell you what. Normally, I'd ask for 15 gold pieces for one of my swords. I like you guys. You're interesting. I'll even throw in a sheath for it. I'll throw it to you for 9 gold pieces.
Checks notes. How much money?
I kind of look over. I give a little nod, like that's a good price. And then while we're settling that, I'm gonna start looking around for just some other. I don't know. I definitely want more thievery implements.
I will take them. I will handle
Actually-
the 9 gold pieces.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna look for a length of chain and
A length of chain, and what was the other thing, Adran?
grappling hooks, about 30 feet of chain if I can.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. No problem at all. He's got 30 foot of chain, and he's got several different grappling hooks. If you just want one, you can affix it to a chain or a rope, however you like to do it.
Yeah, just the one, and I'll attach it to the end of the chain.
Cool. And give me just whatever, for the sake of simplicity, for those type of things, for like super mundane things like chain and grappling hooks, whatever the price and player handbook is for that, just take that off of your total and you're good. Actually,
Cool.
for you with the persuasion check, knock a gold off of that also. So you're good. Anything you're looking for, young lady? Looks to you, Cal.
Oh no, I'm just tagging along. Do what?
Bracers of defense.
Ooh,
Well,
what is that? Would that be here?
oh no, unfortunately.
That's a
Got
wondrous item that adds a +2 to your AC as long as you're not wearing any kind of armor whatsoever.
Pretty
It
dope,
does
though.
require to be attuned. Takes up an hour.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for something like that.
Hell yeah, you
Okay.
are.
Hey, if they
Yeah,
don't have a spell,
my AC's already 18. I love to take it up to 20.
Hell yeah. Oh,
If they don't have a
chance
spell
we get, I'd
scroll,
like to join up with the party.
sorry, Will, what's up?
if they don't have a spell scroll of Find Familiar, they're not going to have
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic items at level 2, especially blue magic items, kind of a, at least not from a storefront, but yeah,
We might not be able to afford them, but he can have them, and I can just acquire them later.
exactly.
Hey, Jake,
Yes, sir.
if we get a chance, can I meet up with the party, since I would say Finn's probably already done his business?
Yeah, no, I'd say as
Walking
kind
the
of
streets type of thing.
yeah, as Adran and Tome, you guys get your shopping taken care of there. Chain, grappling hook, and a nice new longsword. And you guys kind of make your way out into the streets. It is right around noontime now, and sure enough, you do see the lighthouse kind of rolling up the road. Well, okay, sorry, Finn. I want to confirm there. Did you leave the lighthouse back where it was, or are you bringing that back to the tavern with you?
I have returned the light. You know what? No, I'm gonna leave the lighthouse where it is because this is kind of a mid-lunch thing. So kind of a midday lull.
Okay.
Have a will be back for late night happy hour or something like that.
I got you. So yeah, you see.
Get them as they're getting off work.
Yeah, you see.
Get
You
them as
see.
they're putting their horses back.
Yeah, you see Finn walking up the road towards you guys. It's one of those weird things where you probably wouldn't have seen him, but you just kind of got lucky and he's right there. But yeah, you guys are kind of heading next up to the Lord's Hall. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. And we shall kind of making our way up there and pushing our way into the front door of the Lord's Hall. You see Hildy, the administrative assistant, sitting behind her desk, and she kind of looks up to you guys. Oh, what can I do for you all?
We have a business with a margrave after our excursion into the mines.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm sorry. You're the disinherited. I got you. Okay. Just 1 second. I will go fetch the margrave. Just 1 second.
This entire time, Tome is like fidgeting with the new sword on his hip, just like trying to find the best spot to put it. Eventually, just giving up and turning to Calandra, just like, please, like, Mom, help me. I don't know what I'm doing.
It might be best to put it on your back so you can dramatically pull it out.
Oh, wait, he actually, like, at that, he puts it on his back, and he watches his mage hand just, like, yanks it out, and he puts it in his hands like, huh? Like that?
Very good.
And then he puts it back with the mage hand.
As you put it back, the margrave steps into the room. His hair is slicked back and styled. He's clean and put together, kind of like the last time y'all encountered him. I'm glad to see you all have returned, and I've heard from Hildy that you've been successful, at least in your recovering of our missing miner friends.
Yes, though unfortunately we were not able to save everyone. Now looks down, sad.
Well, that is unfortunate, but some good news we will take. What was going on at the mines? What was causing them to go missing? Was it a cave-in, or?
It is a bit more complicated than that. There was a fellow magic user, similar to myself, a necromancer. He was using some sort of, and he kind of scoffs, like some harebrained ritual. He was abducting people and attempting to turn them into his undead servants. It was rather gaudy. I didn't get a full look at the ritual he was conducting, but it was lackluster, to say the least. I mean, Adran killed one of the things in one attack, right, Adran? Wasn't that what you were telling me?
I think, yes, maybe.
Oh,
sure.
Yes.
I mean, of course I did.
Yeah, of course you did. Wow.
Yes.
That's worth extra gold, right?
A magic user. Interesting. And how did he... What... I just don't understand why he would... What ritual... What... I just don't understand the magical significance of a miner.
It wasn't the significance of the person. It was just he needed fuel for his army. It didn't matter what type of material he got. It just needed to be humanoid.
Interesting. And did you get a good look at this individual?
He cast a darkness spell. It made it difficult to catch his appearance.
I see. But he is dead.
Unfortunately, he managed to escape.
Okay. That's not fantastic. Any chance that you're up for pursuing him?
Yes. Well, I cannot speak for my companions, but as a fellow necromancer, his desecration of life troubles me. I wish to see him annihilated.
Well, I just want to make sure that I can tell my people that they're confidently safe. So I do owe you all for your contributions so far. So give Hildy, will you get the reward, please? Actually, she goes right away, and she scampers off to the back. I can't pretend like I know what a necromancer actually is. Is it anything akin to a blood-sucking bureaucrat? Because I'm well versed in those.
Necromancy is the study of life and death. It is an extremely volatile and dangerous school of magic to pursue. In this particular case, this individual was attempting to, as I said, transform your citizens into his own personal army. My theory is that he was attempting to amass such a large number of these creatures so that he could overwhelm and, well, in unsavory terms, slaughter each and every one of you.
Huh. Well, we don't want that, obviously.
Yes. I do hope this does not paint a terrible picture of my particular field. Not all necromancers are evil. I guess that's the cut and dry word I would use. At least that's what my creator said, but it's...
No,
a
person is evil because they choose to be. I don't think that a person is evil because they fall into it, as it were. It's a choice.
I am happy you are open-minded. There are not many who... Well, I can't really say. I'm still fairly new to this. Interacting with people. It is...
Friend here, I assure you that I am doing everything in my power to try and turn this town around. I wish only the best for the people here. So if you're able to help me in that endeavor, I will be eternally grateful.
There was one other, before we get into the reward, there was one other thing I wish to ask. Is there an initiative in town for the rebuilding of the homes? I noticed on the way to the mines that they were in disrepair.
Right now, unfortunately, it's, and you can see on his face there's frustration. I can only do so much from my position. The town is essentially broke. We have almost no money. That's why we've had to instigate these work permits for adventurers like yourself. That's why we've had to allow these, just basically anyone into town to set up shop. But neither here nor there. We're trying desperately to change that, but people don't want it to change that much. So a lot of the reconstruction that you've seen around town, a lot of the polishing of buildings and the curb appeal, as it were, a lot of that came out of my own personal coffers at a great expense with no hope of recompense. So I do what I can, but I can't get to every home. And, convincing folks to redo the roof over their head as opposed to drinking for the cold of the winter, not necessarily the easiest convincement.
I see. You are a good and honorable man.
Well, I don't know that I'd go that far. I do try. We will see.
I wish to... If it is alright with you, I simply wanted permission. I wish to spearhead a movement to begin reconstruction of the various houses in this town. Now, when I say spearhead, that means I do not wish any gold from you, sir. None whatsoever. I simply wish to have your blessing in the gradual restoring of this town into working order. I have already secured 3 individuals who will help me in my endeavors. I seek out more.
Well, we can definitely... I mean, we're not going to turn away any help we can get here. So, if you need my blessing, you have it, my strange friend. Just please stop swinging your sword, though. Cannot stress enough how tightly we are all packed in this room.
Apologies. Calandra, I was merely showing off to Calandra, but I rest assured that
your
will not
helper
happen.
from the Venture Brothers just swinging around a sword going, anyone? Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've seen very little of it. David watches it.
Oh my god. You have
David
got
watches like all of
on
it.
HBO Max. It's so good.
Hell
Even
yeah.
the final show, the episode, Red as the Blood of the Baboon's Heart was just chef's kiss.
Hell yeah.
Sorry for derailing.
Oh no, you're good, man. But yeah, he's like, it's okay, just tight confines and whatnot. I understand showing off, especially to a Whitlock. I get it. But
he kind of cocks his head at that, but
Would you
doesn't
call my
say
mama?
anything.
I love Tome so much. So Hildy returns, and she has in her hand a little burlap sack, and she hands it to the margrave, and he in turn hands it to you, Adran. This is for the return of our miners, at the very least for the closure for their families, for those that did not make it. As I said, we can't afford much, but there are 30 gold pieces in here for you and your friends to split. And as I said, if you are able to permanently remove the threat of this spellcaster, whatever he does, the town will be much more generous in that situation.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Excellent.
Always do what
Thank
we
you very
can.
much.
Heck yeah.
Before we adjourn, I did have one more question, if it is all right.
Oh, it's absolutely all right, my friend. What can I do for you?
Would you happen to be attending the Lord Valemore's, the former Lord Valemore's party this evening?
Oh, well, he is still technically a lord, and sadly, no. The former margrave and I do not see eye to eye. I guess that is to be expected, but that is a sore spot that I have yet to been able to remedy since taking power here.
I see. Just curious.
I'm gonna kind of come up after eavesdropping and go, oh, you couldn't have a bad word to say about the Margrave, could you?
He is the margrave.
Former.
The former Margrave, I apologize.
My friend, I have quite a few bad things to say about him, as he is well, I inherited this mess from him, and struggling treading water, trying to keep my head and the head of all these fine folks above water.
He couldn't have left you in that big of a mess. Tell me about it.
Oh, my friend, look around yourself. This town is in shambles because of Lord Valmore.
But his residence seems to be in it seems to be,
well, of course.
For lack of a better term, a diamond in a goat's ass.
Of course, it's the biggest diamond in the biggest goat's ass, and it's atrocious. But
So are you saying you think he was stealing from the town?
No, I'm just saying I think he was single-minded in his priorities.
I see.
Did not have the best interests of the town in mind.
Exactly.
Well, my friend, the town is lucky to have a person like you back at the helm. Hopefully you'll be able to steer it away from this rocky crag of a shore that the previous lord had you set on course to.
Yes, thankfully, the town itself is actually not that bad, I guess. There are some wonderful folks here. The High Weaver and the High Shepherd over at the 3-Point Harmony have been tremendously beneficial to me. But, you know, they can only do so much. And speaking of the 3-Point Harmony real quick, we will cut over to Hunter real quick as you're making your way into the library at that very location.
Amazing.
Yeah, so looking for anything on the shadows at the corners of your mind that live there rent-free because of an agreement that was made without your consent. We venture in with the assistance of the good High Weaver Solmir. You want to go ahead and roll me an investigation check as we begin to delve into this, Hunter?
Absolutely. Alright. I'm gonna use my inspiration point.
Go for it. That's what it's here for.
Because we got a 2. Nat 20, let's go.
Hell yeah. Nat 20. The High Weaver ushers you through rows of shelves towards a small alcove in the back that has a iron gate obscuring the portcullis of this archway. And he pulls a large ring of keys out of his pocket and fishes through them for the right one, and with the help of his trusty familiar in the form of a kitty cat, he pulls out the correct key and puts it in the thing and looks back to you and he says, "Are you sure you're ready to find out what the information I have on the other side of this gate is?"
Sir, with all due possible respect, I've been waiting for 22 years for my diddly darn lot for this.
Oh my god. He clicks the key. And we're going to go ahead and pick up there immediately next time, guys. Here on the Legends of Adran.
No!
Okay.
Did you just pull a fucking Ned Flanders out of your ass, Will?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was gonna say.
Ned Flanders, what the fuck?
Oh, look, it was fantastic.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
We go to the town,
nothing at all.
putting it in a dirty glass.